Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. I wanted to tell you also that I feel nothing. I literally feel nothing. So much nothingness. I've never felt more nothingness. A deposition, legal deposition, is not a song. It is not an album. You don't get to drop Taylor's version. But I think right now what's happening behind the scenes is she is freaking out, and Taylor cannot then call in a marketing guru to spin things to make her look innocent. You are under oath and you will be compelled to tell the truth if she was in fact more involved in this project. And again, I believe she was. Taylor Swift is alleging that Blake Lively is lying, but is Taylor telling the truth, or is this just a strategy to save her own skin?
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. Picture this: a glitzy Hollywood power couple on one side, a charismatic actor on the other, and a certain pop princess somewhere in the middle, trying to dodge the drama like it's a wild dodgeball match. If you think you've seen it all, buckle up, Buttercup, because the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni feud is about to serve more sizzling tea than your favorite local cafe on a cold winter day.
It's that more lawsuits were coming. Well, one of them just dropped against Blake Lively, and it is also for defamation.
We've got surprise lawsuits, hush-hush meetings, and enough backdoor scheming to make a spy thriller blush, where we dive deep into the swirling storm of new allegations that have the internet buzzing. And here's a friendly reminder: if you're living for the gossip, do me a favor, smash that like button and let the YouTube overlords know you're here for the juicy deets. And don't forget to subscribe, because let's face it, I'm nothing without your support. Now back to the tea. Now grab your popcorn, extra butter, obviously, and strap yourself in, because this is going to be one wild ride. Let's start with Blake Lively, the face you probably recognize from sassy comedic roles and immaculate red carpet looks. For someone who's usually spotlighted for her fashion and comedic timing, Ms. Lively has found herself juggling more lawsuits than a messy daytime court TV show.
They are anguished by the things that they did being found out by the public. In that article, we're told that Blake Lively is quote unquote emotionally zapped by her spate of lawsuits with Justin Baldoni. And I don't know if you guys have paused to consider that Blake's feelings might be getting hurt in all of this.
Firstly, the good news, if you can call it that, is that a defamation lawsuit aimed at her was recently dropped. Cue the confetti, right? Well, hold that confetti popper, because a second, brand-spankin new legal battle appeared quicker than a plot twist on a reality show.
That complaint that this guy named Jed Wallace was hired by Baldoni's PR team to help and weaponize this digital army, to basically help pump out social media posts that seemed authentic, to create and continue this narrative, this smear campaign narrative. This is what she alleged in her original complaint. So now this publicist is filing his own complaint, you know, this is part of this $7 million defamation lawsuit against her, and basically claiming his reputation's on the line. He's lost millions, and once again, this is the second defamation lawsuit against her. We know that Baldoni currently is going to be battling her in court, and his defamation lawsuit is worth $400 million. So it's coming from everywhere now.
Enter Street Relations, a high-stakes crisis PR firm led by none other than Jed Wallace. According to official documents and the rumor mill, Blake allegedly accused them of being her personal digital boogeymen, orchestrating some elaborate smear campaign against her. Now, if you're wondering what a smear campaign even means in the glimmering hills of Hollywood, allow me to explain. It's when someone, or some firm, supposedly spreads negative stories, posts suspicious rumors online, or manipulates social media chatter to harm a celeb's image. Street Relations said, "Oh no, not us," and slapped Blake with a lawsuit claiming defamation.
Now let's talk about Justin Baldoni's PR specialist, Jed Wallace. His firm, Street Relations Inc., is suing Blake Lively for defamation.
Well, Jed Wallace has just sued the wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband. What for? He is accusing Taylor Swift's bestie of defamation.
Well, I can tell you that this is now the 5th lawsuit associated with Blake versus Baldoni, and we're exhausted by it.
Basically turning the tables on her. Talk about an epic plot reversal worthy of a primetime drama. Now, if you thought the swirl of lawsuits and allegations was the entire amuse-bouche of this Hollywood buffet, think again. We're about to bring out the main course, and it involves none other than Taylor Swift.
Clear that she wants nothing to do with this case, and is baffled by Blake later characterizing her as her quote-unquote dragon. The source adds, "It's weird to say that about a friend, and there's more." Why is Taylor Swift lying about that little exchange? And the answer is very simple. She does not want to get deposed, okay?
Yes, T Swift, the reigning queen of chart-topping anthems, beloved cats, and lyric Easter eggs. She has found herself tangled in a scandal that, if rumors are to be believed, she never actually wanted a seat at in the first place. Apparently, swirling reports claim that Taylor was led into a high-level meeting involving Justin Baldoni under less than transparent pretenses.
Taylor Swift is now fighting back hard, okay? Her team is not pulling any punches over the last 12 hours. The source says Taylor is also learning that Blake has been inappropriately leveraging her name for a long time, like telling a young actress that Taylor cast her, which simply did not happen. Ho!
So, imagine her surprise when she realized the discussion wasn't about a casual collaboration or a philanthropic venture, but rather a behind-the-scenes battle involving lawsuits, reputations, and heated animosity. Swift, whose brand is built on meticulous image management, may have felt duped into stepping onto a landmine. But here's where it gets real interesting. Some observers on social media suggest that maybe Taylor wasn't so clueless after all. They speculate that she could be distancing herself now simply because the heat's getting too intense.
Because Brian Friedman went on the TMZ podcast on yesterday, and when asked about whether or not they would subpoena Taylor, he basically implied nothing's off the table. And I want to be clear, that has the potential to humiliate Taylor. Okay, she has carefully woven her brand as a nice girl, as a victim, as somebody who is never involved in any plotting or scheming. If they suddenly say, put her on the stand, put her under oath, and we're going to subpoena her messages, this could present a version of Taylor that the public does not know about.
After all, aligning oneself with the wrong side in Hollywood can lead to lost endorsement deals, fewer invites to swanky premieres, and the dreaded rumor swirl that never sleeps. Think about it. Would a star of Taylor's caliber really wander into a PR war by accident? Let's just say the internet is divided. So, is Taylor just a wide-eyed bystander, or is she playing 4D chess? Fire off in the comments. Tell me which side of the fence you're on, because we're about to waltz right into some major allegations that'll make you question what truly goes on behind those fancy gated mansions in Tinseltown. Cue the dramatic music, because we're hitting the part of our program where the words Hollywood collusion get tossed around like confetti at a New Year's Eve party. According to various rumor mongers, we aren't just talking about a simple he said, she said situation. No, folks, this is said to be a textbook example of high-flying Hollywood heavyweights banding together to call the shots and rewrite reputations.
He was mocked in the credits of his own movie, that he was mocked mercilessly, endlessly in Deadpool and Wolverine by A-list actors getting involved there. We know that Justin's colleagues and fellow actors on the film were then all invited to the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. So they watched him being mocked. We're angry. And there is something about this case. And I think there is an element of this that makes a lot of people feel unsafe. And knowing that this sort of collusion can happen behind the scenes, and yet we would have been given a version of events which would have taken down the victim rather than the aggressor, it doesn't make us trust anybody.
Word on the celebrity street is that Blake Lively and her high-profile partner, Ryan Reynolds, have been pulling strings like puppet masters, orchestrating a sophisticated smear campaign against Justin Baldoni. It sounds like a script from a top-notch thriller. Hush-hush deals, clandestine phone calls, carefully planted news stories, all funneling into the narrative that Baldoni is some sort of villain. Meanwhile, there's speculation about whether Taylor Swift got roped in as a strategic chess piece, or if she was in on the plan from the get-go. Think of it like the most complicated group project you were ever part of in school, except, with millions of dollars, countless fans, and entire careers on the line. One has to wonder, why would these mega-famous, adored celebrities risk their public image to settle a feud? Is there some personal vendetta? Is this a case of too many cooks in the Hollywood kitchen? Or maybe there's some hush-hush backstory we only know bits and pieces of? Either way, the rumor mill is spinning, and you better believe the tabloids are having a field day. And just when you think your jaw can't drop any lower, the next revelation swoops in, like an unexpected cameo from your favorite actor in the film you forgot you were watching. Get cozy, because we're about to spotlight the alleged ringmaster, Ryan Reynolds.
And the legal battles have apparently, quote, taken a deep emotional toll on the actress, as well as her husband, Ryan Reynolds. A perfect act of evil that was almost executed in broad daylight, almost like a psychological operation, right?
Ryan Reynolds, comedic genius, marketing mastermind, Deadpool incarnate. Take your pick of labels. But some swirling gossip claims he might also be a behind-the-scenes puppeteer with a flair for controlling narratives. As the stories go, Ryan Reynolds could be the force behind an elaborate plan to discredit Justin Baldoni. Yes, that same Ryan who trades jokes with fans on social media might be pulling all the sinister strings in the background, if we're to believe the rumor brigade. Critics say he has carefully maneuvered coverage so that Justin comes off looking like the problem child, while Blake emerges as the unfortunate spouse simply caught in the crossfire. Talk about a plot twist that would put soap operas to shame. Some people even allege that Ryan's taken control of Blake's public narrative, keeping her isolated or at least deeply entangled to ensure a unified front. On the flip side, fans of Ryan argue it's all hogwash. He's just a savvy marketer who got sucked into someone else's meltdown. So, which is it? Are we talking about a comedic genius turned Machiavellian mastermind? Or just another rumor inflated to the size of a stadium blimp? If you're feeling whiplash from all these swirling accusations, trust me, you're not alone. Feel free to vent your theories in the comment section. Just keep it respectful, or the self-appointed rumor police might show up at your digital doorstep. This scandal has more chapters than a binge-worthy Netflix series, and you won't want to miss a single one. By now, you might be asking, how on earth do these mega celebrities orchestrate these grand narratives so seamlessly? Well, strap in, because we're about to blow the lid off the behind-the-scenes puppet show we call Hollywood. The short version, power, money, and connections can transform even the tiniest rumor into a raging inferno of click-worthy headlines. Picture this. A few big-name PR reps pick up the phone, call some influential editors, maybe grease a few wheels, and voila, front-page coverage that either vilifies or glorifies a person, depending on what the script calls for. Throw in the digital army of social media, influencers, some with questionable authenticity, to amplify the story, and you have a recipe for mass manipulation. Meanwhile, fans across the world soak in these narratives, pass them around like the hottest tea at a Sunday brunch, and a new truth cements itself in the public consciousness. The scariest part? A lot of folks don't realize how easily these narratives are shaped. Celebrities with deep pockets and major brand power can pivot entire storylines within 24 hours. Today's villain can become tomorrow's sympathetic underdog with just a few well-placed articles, a string of teary talk show appearances, and a carefully orchestrated philanthropic gesture. By the time you remember to question the authenticity, the narrative has moved on, and you're busy with the next big scoop. Case in point, everything's swirling around the lively Baldoni saga. If you believe the whispers, the entire fiasco could be a massive stunt orchestrated by key players who stand to benefit, be that in career opportunities, record sales, brand expansions, or political alliances. Whether you're a cynic or an optimist, it's worth taking a second glance at your favorite gossip columns. Is it all just a juicy read, or could we be pawns in a grand game of public perception? Let me know in the comments if you think this entire fiasco is a carefully scripted spectacle or genuine meltdown mode for some big names. As always, thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button before you go, because in the land of unpredictability that is showbiz, you never know when the next bombshell will drop. Until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay informed only on Tea Time with Tina.